Hello friends, welcome back to my YouTube channel Simply Structural. In the previous lecture, we discussed the design procedure for laterally unsupported beams as per IS 800 2007. So in that video, we discussed that first of all, based on the section data, we calculate ZE, ZP, then we classify the section based on the section properties that we have, then we calculate the effective length, then we calculate the critical moment MCR. Then we calculate the slenderness ratio lambda LT, and if my slenderness ratio lambda LT is less than 0.4, then we treat that beam as laterally supported, and if it is more than 0.4, then we will design as per laterally unsupported beam. So based on that, we calculate the reduction factor xi LT. Finally, we calculate the design bending moment MD, and then we perform the design checks. So we perform 4 checks: the bending moment check, shear check, slenderness ratio check, and finally the interaction ratio check. In this video, we are going to take a practical example and we are going to design the beam in STAAD.Pro software. So here you can see a simply supported beam. The length of this beam is 5 meters. Okay, and we have used section size as ISMB 400. Okay, we have also added the design parameters for this beam. So we have used IS 800 code, LSD, limit state design. The FU, that is ultimate strength for this beam, is 410 megapascal. Okay, this parameter, that is LAT parameter. So as our beam is laterally unsupported, so we have assigned it as LAT 0. Okay, and we have added track to beam 1 and check code. Okay, so based on this, the STAAD.Pro will give the design results for this beam. You can check in the analysis output. Okay, if you see here, it has given the utilization ratio of this beam in all the loads, that is in tension, compression, major axis shear, minor axis shear, and bending about major and minor, and finally the interaction ratio. Okay, you can see the values of the ratios, and what we are going to do is we are going to design this beam manually using an Excel spreadsheet, and we are going to verify the results whether we are getting correct results from STAAD.Pro or not. Okay, so here if you see, I have prepared a spreadsheet. Okay, on this beam, if you can go to loading, you will see that I have applied a uniformly distributed load of 15 kilonewton per meter. Okay, so let's go back to Excel. Factor load is 15 kilonewton per meter. Length of the beam is 5 meters or 5000 mm, and I have used ISMB 400. Okay, yield strength is 250 megapascal. Modulus of elasticity is 200 gigapascal or 200 into 10 power 3 megapascal. Okay, depth of the cross section, obviously since it is ISMB 400, so the depth of the cross section is 400 mm. Now the various section properties, that is width of the flange, thickness of the web, thickness of flange, and the clear depth, you can get all these values from the table that is there over here. So I have listed all the ISMB sections from ISMB 100 to ISMB 600, and I have added all the properties of the ISMB sections as per the steel table. I will attach the link of this Excel sheet in the description below. You can download this sheet for completely for free. Okay, so based on this, here I have used VLOOKUP function, and using VLOOKUP I have taken the all the properties. So width of the flange for ISMB 400 is 140 mm, thickness of web is 8.9 mm, thickness of flange is 16 mm, and clear depth which is nothing but total depth minus 2 times the thickness of web, and that comes out to be 368 mm. Also, the moment of inertia, radius of gyration about weak and major axis is also taken from this sheet. Center to center distance between flanges, that is HF value, so that will be equal to overall depth minus half of the top flange thickness and half of the bottom flange thickness, so that is equal to 384 mm. The first step, as you know, is to classify the section. So we will calculate the ratio of B by TF and D by TW. Okay, so based on that we will classify the section. So in our case, for ISMB 400, the flange is plastic and the web is also plastic, so our final section is plastic. Okay, now let's first calculate the ratio for shear. So in order to calculate the shear capacity of the beam, the formula given by the code is VD, which is the design shear strength, is equal to AV into Fy by root 3 into gamma mo. What is AV? AV is nothing but the shear area. So shear area is given by H into TW. So we'll multiply H, which is 400, and multiply it by thickness of the web, which is 8.9 mm. So we will get 3560 mm square. Gamma m0 is the partial safety factor, which is 1.1, and Fy is the yield strength of steel. So in our case, yield strength is 250 megapascal. Putting all the values, we'll get the design shear strength, which is 467.13. Okay, and we also calculate the 60% limit, which is 0.6 VD. So if you see my previous video on the design of laterally supported beams, then in that you will see that we calculate the low shear or the high shear. If it is low shear, then my bending moment will not interact with the shear. Okay, so what we need to calculate in this formula, we need to calculate the acting shear. For utilization ratio in shear, what we want is, we want the actual shear, that is V, and we want the design shear strength of this beam, that is VD. So VD we already calculated. Okay, what we want now is V, that is the acting shear. So as you know that for a simply supported beam, what is the shear? Maximum shear that is acting at the support is WL by 2. So based on that, W, that is the UDL, that is 15, multiplied by L, that is 5000 mm, and divided by 2, and multiplied by 10 to the power minus 3 to convert it from Newton to kilonewton. So we'll get the value of V as 37.5 kilonewton. So utilization ratio will be nothing but the acting shear divided by the shear capacity. So as it is less than 1, so the beam is safe in shear. So here I use the if condition. If it is less than 1, then it is okay, and if it is more than 1, it will be not okay. Okay, now if you open the STAAD and go to the output and click on the member design, you will see that my shear value is 0.080, which is exactly matching with our manual calculations. Okay, now let's calculate the design bending capacity. So for that we need to first calculate the plastic section modulus. Again, I have taken the plastic section modulus value from this table. Okay, beta b, for our case, since it is a plastic section, beta b value will be 1, gamma mo is 1.1, LLD, that is the effective length. So if you see table 15 of IS 800 2007 code, then for a simply supported beam, the value of LLT can be taken equal to 1L. Okay, so 1 into L is nothing but 5000 mm, so LLT will be also equal to 5000 mm. Now we need to calculate the elastic lateral torsional buckling moment, that is MCR. So if you see, if you scroll on the side, you will see the formula for MCR, that is pi square EIY HF by 2LT square into 1 plus 1 by 20 LLT by RY divided by HF by TF whole square to the power 0.5. So putting all the values in this formula, we'll get the value of MCR as 182.12. Let's calculate the non-dimensionless slenderness ratio, that is lambda LT. Okay, so value of lambda LT may be calculated by this formula, that is square root of beta B ZPFI by MCR. So lambda LT value is 1.28, and as you already know from the previous video that if my lambda LT value is more than 0.4, then we must design the beam as laterally unsupported, and in this case we need to calculate the bending stress reduction factor xi LT. To calculate the value of xi LT, firstly we need the value of alpha LT. So since our section is a rolled section, the value of alpha LT is 0.21. The value of phi LT, you can see from the code, it is calculated by using this formula. It is 0.5 multiplied by 1 plus alpha LT lambda LT minus 0.2 plus lambda LT square. Using this formula, we'll get the value of phi LT, and finally the value of xi LT is calculated by using the formula. Okay, all these formulas are given in the code, and you can also refer to my previous video on this. Once we get the value of xi LT, we can calculate the value of design bending compressive stress, that is FBD, which is nothing but xi LT Fi by gamma mo. Okay, and finally the design bending strength, which is about the major axis, which is given by beta B ZP into FBD. So putting all the values, we will get the value of MDZ as 128.33 kilonewton meter. Now let's calculate the actual bending moment. As you know, for a simply supported beam, the maximum bending moment will be WL square by 8. So MZ is 46.875 kilonewton meter. And the bending moment about the minor direction, since we have no load in the minor direction, so actual bending moment acting in the minor direction is 0. So now we can calculate the bending moment ratios about major and minor axis. For minor axis it is obviously 0 because there is no actual bending moment acting, and for the major axis it will be nothing but the bending moment that is acting divided by the strength of that bending moment about the major direction. So it is coming as 0.366. Obviously it is less than 1, so it is okay. If you verify it instead, you can see that the bending moment about major axis is 0.362. So it is almost matching with our manual calculation. Now let's see the slenderness ratio check. So actual slenderness ratio, lambda actual, is nothing but KL by R minimum, or the Ry, which is the minor axis radius of gyration. Okay, putting all the values, we'll get the value of lambda actual as 177. So it is well below the allowable limit of 400. Okay, so you can calculate the UC ratio as well for this, which is nothing but lambda actual by lambda allowable. So it will come out to be 0.444. Let's see instead. So here you can see the most critical. If you go in post processing and if you click on utilization ratio, you can see the maximum utilization ratio is in slenderness, that is 0.444. So it is exactly matching with our manual calculation. Now let's see the axial stress ratio as well. Firstly, for the design axial strength ND, it is given by this formula, that is AgFi by gamma m. What is Ag? Ag is nothing but the gross cross sectional area. Again, gross cross sectional area is taken from this table using the VLOOKUP function, and since actual axial load that is acting on this beam is 0, so the axial stress ratio will be 0. This can be also verified instead. If you go to output, click on member steel design, here you can see that in both tension and compression the value is 0. Next, coming to the combined interaction ratio check. So for that we need the axial stress ratio. So obviously it is 0, as you already know, we have calculated it here, that is n by nd. So n is 0. What is the value of alpha 1? As you already know that the value of alpha 1 is maximum of 5 into n and 1. So 5 into n is 0 and 1. So maximum of 0 and 1 is 1. So alpha 1 will be 1 and the value of alpha 2 is 2, which is taken from the code. So based on this, we can calculate the value of mn dy and mn dz. So the value of mn dy will be coming out to be 0, and since we don't have any minor axis bending moment, okay, and the value of mn dz will be coming out as 128.33 kN meter. If you see the code, I will show you the value of formula for mn dy and mn dz. Okay, since n is less than 0.2, in our case n is 0, so it is less than 0.2. So my value of mn dy will be equal to m dy. Okay, and m dy, since there is no actual bending moment in the minor direction, so mn dy will be also equal to 0. Okay, m dy is 0, so mn dy will be also equal to 0. Now coming to the formula of mn dz, it is given by this formula. It is 1.11 mdz into 1 minus n. If you calculate using this formula, if you calculate it, let me calculate it on the side, it is coming as 142. Okay, but here it is written that this mn dz value should be less than mdz value. And what is the value of mdz? If you see the value of mdz, it is 128. Okay, this 142 is exceeding the value of 128, so the code does not permit that. So maximum we can use is the 128. So mndz value is 128.33. And finally the interaction ratio, which is given by this formula, my upon mn dy to the power alpha 1 plus mz upon mn dz to the power alpha 2, and this ratio is less than 1, so obviously this is okay. Let's verify this interaction ratio as well in the STAAD. Here you can see that this is the combined interaction ratio, it is 0.131, so it is again almost matching with our manual calculations. So guys, this is how we will verify all the STAAD results for the design of laterally unsupported beam. If you find this content to be helpful, please do subscribe to my channel and press the bell icon to stay updated. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.